Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name's Tammy. I'm a clay artist, but I also go by Uncomfy because your girl's a little anxious. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I usually do studio vlogs, videos of me just working on my small business, my art business. But today I wanted to combine two of my favorite things, polymer clay and talking about mental health. I've had this idea for the longest time where I start a series of me just talking about life, mental health, and other meaningful topics while I'm sculpting. So this is that video. This is clay therapy. I'm so excited. We have a lot of things to talk about today. So without further ado, let's get sculpting. This week we're sculpting my character Capybara. It's a capybara holding a cup of coffee. I actually tried to film this video yesterday, but I wasn't very happy with the footage. So this is what I sculpted yesterday. Here are all the capybaras that I sculpted yesterday. I actually prefer the eyebrows more, but I got way more orders for without eyebrows. So that's what we're gonna be sculpting today. Right now I'm just cleaning the surface of my glass with some rubbing alcohol. I think it really helps get the leftover dust from last night. I think it really helps to keep your area as clean as possible, and I'll just wipe the leftover alcohol on like the palms of my hands and my fingertips especially. The moisture from the towel will grab any dust that's on your hands and make sure everything's clean. But today obviously I'm working with like all brown. It's so nice because usually if it's all white clay then I really have to pay attention to any dust or dirt particles that I'm leaving behind. I love making these capybaras. They're so cute and they're so fun to make. I just love their long faces. And the reason why I often choose for my characters to have this sort of expression, like not happy but not sad, is that my goal for these characters is to bring peace to my customers. And peace and contentment often lies in the middle of happy and sad. I got a lot of questions on loneliness and how to deal with loneliness in your 20s. I think I might have talked about this before, but especially as someone who works from home and who makes art for a living by herself, it can be very isolating. And I even remember Googling a long time ago, like how to stop being lonely. I was researching why I get so lonely because at the time I was surrounded by my family, I had friends, but I still felt alone. And I think that's like the darkest part of loneliness, is that it's not contingent on how many people are around you. You could be surrounded by people all the time. You could even be surrounded by people you love all the time and still feel lonely. And something that I found that was really interesting about loneliness is that people can sense this feeling of loneliness from you without you even having to say it. And that in turn makes them feel alone. Loneliness isn't the absence of people, but it's the absence of connection. And when I learned that, it was very eye-opening for me. What I really need is not to hang out with someone all the time, but what I really need is connection. Deep, meaningful connection. So I'm still on that journey myself, finding people who can not just sympathize but empathize with me, like truly relate to my experiences. And I'm trying to find people who can really be happy for me and I can really be happy for them, you know? Especially with what I do for a living, like my older relatives won't really understand what it means to have like 100,000 subscribers or to meet the certain milestones that mean a lot to me. But if I find someone that really like understands the hard work that I put into things, and that makes me really happy. And as far as being lonely in your 20s, another thing that I started doing this year was really reaching out to people that I want to get closer with. And it's hard and it takes effort for sure. And sometimes it feels really futile, but just really knowing that none of your effort will be in vain. It takes time to become really close friends with someone. So as long as you're both trying, then eventually it'll lead to something better. Like even something as simple as texting an old friend like, hey, I just want to let you know that I miss you and I'm so excited to hang out sometime later this summer maybe. Or today I texted some of my friends like, hey, I just want to remind you that I love you guys and I think those little messages go a really long way. Sometimes I think people are just really simple creatures. Like, we all just want to know that our friends are thinking of us sometimes, and it feels good. And the energy that you put out, you'll receive it back. And I definitely think relationships should be quality over quantity. Like, I could literally count the amount of friends I have on one hand, and I'm honestly completely content with that. I want to take a quick break to thank the sponsor of this video, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to your therapist in whichever way you feel most comfortable with, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's most convenient for you. And if your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality that you would expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist that is custom picked for you with more scheduling flexibility and at a more affordable price. Sometimes you just need someone to talk to, and I think BetterHelp is such a great option for people like me who have an irregular work schedule, who prefer to stay in the comfort of their home. I get anxiety when driving, so I don't even own a car, and remote therapy is such a game changer. So if you want to try BetterHelp, get 10% off your first month when you go to betterhelp.com/uncomfy. That's better, HELP, and I've also linked them below in the description. And thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video. I also got a lot of questions about burnout. Have you ever experienced it, how you felt during it, and how you overcame it? I think I'm blessed because I'm a very naturally driven person. I usually can motivate myself to work. I don't need someone else to tell me what to do, so I'm very intrinsically self-driven to do the things that I want to do. Sorry, I just want to show you this capybara that I made. I never thought that I would get burnt out, but lo and behold, all of you guys guessed it, I did. It happened a couple weeks ago. The way that I experienced burnout wasn't the way that I thought I would. I thought I'd be super aware of it and that I feel horrible or almost like a physical sickness. I thought that's what burnout was, but it really was a gradual thing that I almost didn't notice until it got really bad. The biggest symptom of burnout that I had was that I couldn't get out of bed. And this was very, very strange for me because I love getting up early in the morning. Morning is my favorite time of day. I'm a morning person. Usually I like to wake up around 7 or 8. That's like the perfect time for me to wake up. I feel super happy when I do that, but recently I haven't been able to get out of bed like earlier than 11, I think. And when my burnout was really bad, I couldn't get out of bed until like 12. And it's not like I didn't have ideas or I didn't have anything to do, but I just couldn't bring myself to care. And that really hurts, I think, to suddenly not care for the things that you care so much about. I got so emotional just now. Disclaimer, I feel much better now, but a couple weeks ago I was not feeling good. How I got out of it was really just giving myself the most grace as possible and not beating myself up over not getting up in the morning, but instead just celebrating the small wins. Just think like, today I got up at 10 and I didn't like that, but yesterday I got up at 12. So yesterday I would have still been in bed sleeping, and that shows improvement right there, you know? I wish I had better advice for burnout other than just, letting it take its course. But I think this is something that I'm gonna have to navigate more myself now as I really lean into being an artist full time. But yeah, just realizing that life has its ebbs and flows. You can't be super productive all the time, and guilt and the shame of not feeling at 100% is totally natural and valid. But also I think we should just let go of these expectations. I got a lot of question about like existential doom and uncertainty, and while the future is scary and nothing is guaranteed, I think that almost comforts me because it gives me the freedom to literally do whatever I want because nothing is guaranteed. The reason why I can feel so confident in my career as an artist, as a self-employed small business owner, is because nothing is guaranteed. Not even if you have the most stable, secure job. You can get laid off at any time. You could get fired. TikTok could be banned. Instagram could not be a thing anymore. But as a self-employed person, I've built so many different streams of revenue that are slowly becoming independent of each other's, and that's really exciting to me that I'm creating freedom for myself. The mantra that I live by is that nothing is guaranteed in this world, so you might as well do something that you love. And right now, I'm so grateful. I'm literally just talking about life and making little clay capybaras. I'm making people happy in the process. This is truly the best thing ever, and I'm so grateful to you all. I also got a lot of questions on how to prevent burnout and mental fatigue. Getting away from social media, getting away from my phone, and whenever I have free time, just doing simple human things, you know, having a hobby, being an actual person. I feel like that really helps with my mental health. Obviously, I love social media. I love how creative people can get. I love getting inspiration from social media and learning from social media. But at the same time, I do think being on my phone too much can increase my anxiety. It gets to a point where it doesn't make me happier. It's not making me laugh or smile anymore. I'm just scrolling. That's when I feel like I'm just losing brain cells and I'm not doing anything for myself. So yeah, I've been trying to minimize my screen time, just use social media when it fits my purposes. I do need to be on social media for my work and to research and do all those things, but I'm trying not to use it for entertainment anymore. Instead, I'm reading, I'm watching films, and learning new things. Another interesting question that I got was, what was it like growing up with a Vietnamese American family, and how did you decide to pursue art in an Asian culture where art is very stigmatized, talking about mental health is very stigmatized, and I just so happen to do a lot of both. I'm very lucky because my parents gave me the freedom to do whatever I wanted, but I think I got that freedom because I wasn't financially dependent on them. And that's the hard thing that I've noticed, is that everything balances out, right? Everything has a cost. For me, I always felt envious of other people. Like, they didn't have to worry about money. And I think worrying about money from a super young age, I knew that I wouldn't be able to get the things that I wanted in life unless I worked super hard. But on the flip side, my parents never pressured me to go into STEM. My parents never pressured me to do anything. They let me ditch school whenever I wanted to because they trusted me. They trusted that I knew what I needed better than anyone else. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's super rare for any kid, any middle schooler or high schooler to have that much agency over their decisions. They never forced me to go to school. So that taught me how to be independent super early. And when I decided that I wanted to do art, there wasn't a fight, there wasn't any concerns. So I'm super lucky in that aspect, but that was certainly not the same with every other family. I think a lot of the older generation doesn't understand how people can make money off social media now. And I used to get so frustrated having to explain myself, to prove my self-worth over and over again to these people who just won't understand. Now I'm at a point where I know my self-worth. I'm one of the most hardworking people that I know, and I don't need to prove that to people anymore. I can support myself and my family now, and it's because I listened to myself. I trusted myself, and you should trust yourself too. Like, yes, it's hard work, but at the end of the day, I'm doing something that I want to do. There are certain things in life that you have agency over, that you have the power to do yourself, so why not do it? You know? Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you like this new series. I really want to continue doing this sort of clay therapy talks, and yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye.
Rusty red on her shoulder, I was cleaning her shoe when it clicked on the trot over in the bright morning dew. We brushed and we braided dandelions and shoes.